Okay, everybody, I'm back. Sorry about that. Apparently, I forgot to add myself to the actual last live stream, so I said nothing for about 30 minutes while I was saying stuff. And then, yeah, thank you, Keycard, for pointing that out. I'll definitely be more careful in the future. It's fine. I was very bitter for the beginning of that, but if anyone was listening, you know why. Um, I'll try and keep the side comments down. If it's important, then I'll say something, but I want to try and get us back up to the same point. Let's see if. Nope, I have to go to the actual video for this to work. That's fine. Let's go.
Yo, what is up, guys? Today I'm gonna be reacting and debunking with delusional whiz
Yep, that's where I had to stop again last time. We got 7 seconds in and we're already at insults.
video about uh tuning exam Sasuke versus tuning exams Rock Lee. So I'm not gonna add hominem on him
You
or
already did.
none of that. Like just go through point by
You
point.
already did. You got 7 seconds in and you already did ad hominem. You called him a delusional. Well, I guess technically that's just an insult. So you know what? Whatever. You get away with that on a technicality.
And just debunk it. So let's go.
Next thing that's also very important relating to
Mm.
basically, kind of get into what the result would be if these two
So I just basically skipped like there's the intro. So like just skip that.
were to fight. So basically, what the conditions are going to be is two square things all.
Okay, yeah, I said I was going to skip the small things, but I can't skip this. Once again, you are skipping the actual premise and the way in which he is setting this fight up. That makes 100% sense on why he would do it, and it's very important to this video. For all you know, he could be saying this Rock Lee and this Sasuke. I mean, he's not, but he could. And you would be ignoring that fact. Let's go.
All out once and for
Just skip this intro.
It's not intro.
Talking about his speed. That's the most important factor in considering this fight. Period. So basically, the skin that you guys see in front of you as of now.
Let's hope we can get up to 3 viewers again. That was nice.
Rock
I'm not
right,
considering that the people joined and I wasn't saying anything. Whatever, but
is available against arts like ninja kenjutsu and with their formalized rules, sign casting, and chakras. But physical taijutsu arts in their pure form are very different story. And he's like, but how? And he's like, if your shaman eye can see to the heart of every ninja art well enough to duplicate it, as it said, then you know what I say is true. Even if you can perfectly.
So he's already wrong about reference. So Rock Lee was referring to ninjutsu and replicating jutsu basically. Like this guy thinks he's talking about like taijutsu is any different. Like so, yeah, you can't replicate taijutsu obviously because you need to have that physical thing, physical speed, and all that to replicate taijutsu, right? So even like let's say Sasuke even don't have that speed and all that, right? He still was able. He literally, by the way, he literally just copied Rock Lee's Lotus technique, which he just named.
nope, he copied the starting steps for it. He does not copy the actual Lotus because he didn't know all the steps for the Lotus. What he ends up doing is he kicks his opponent up in the air and then he releases a barrage of hits in order to create the Lion's Barrage. That's completely different from the Lotus and does not require the same level of speed. So it's irrelevant. You're wrong.
The other thing, but its name is irrelevant because like he basically copied that.
No, the name is completely irrelevant, and the reason is because they have different names because they're two different techniques. The Lotus is a high speed impact ability where you ram your opponent's head into the ground. The Lion's Barrage is a series of ferocious hits on the opponent, which isn't nearly as devastating as Lotus. It's still pretty good, but it's not Lotus level.
That technique, right? And
That's a big
he
detail.
demonstrated it against Ryoi or Roy, that guy in when they fight in second stage, basically. So they were literally it was literally copy, but he don't have least speed at that time, So like, sure, if that's all to fully replicate and literally mirror that taijutsu, you do need to have that speed and everything, that capabilities that you are replicating, right? But it's not like necessary. It's not really needed.
Perceive and understand my movements. You lack the speed and strength to counter them. You have
So
Okay, just want to make sure I got the whole thing in. So yeah, okay. So everything you said beforehand, if anyone was paying attention, would know that everything that you said beforehand about replicating all that, completely pointless, because that was not the point he was going for. The point he was going for, and if you had been paying attention, you would have heard this as well, wasn't a replication argument. It was a, if Sasuke cannot perceive, even though Sasuke can perceive his opponent, it doesn't mean he's going to be able to react. And if he can't react, he can't win, because if he can't react, then he's not going to be able to counter. That was the argument. So replication, all that. I mean, no, you're wrong. But even if you were right, not the point.
now he's referring to countering it,
It was always referring to countering it. You just don't get it.
right? So yeah, if you don't have that speed, you can't counter it, even if you have precognition. So yeah.
Thank you
the
for admitting.
physical training necessary to keep up with me. It doesn't matter what your eye can see if your body's too weak to act. Okay? Basically, what this means is even if Sasuke is able to perceive Lee and see where he is, if he's not fast enough to react or strong enough to fight back, he was going to get speed blitz and basically bodied in the fight.
Like, you guys like hear what he's saying. So he just said, he just repeated the scan and read the scan.
Yeah, what's wrong with him repeating and reading the scan? That makes sense. When you're trying to make a point using something like this, yes, it makes sense that you would read it. I'm sorry, is that a foreign concept to you?
And then says completely like over exaggerated,
It wasn't over exaggerated, and unless you can prove it, I'm ignoring you.
like it does not match evidence. Like his claim is misrepresented.
His claim was just because Sasuke can perceive Rock Lee doesn't mean he'd be able to counter him. That was the claim. The evidence is this. This is proving that up. You did not disagree with that. So the idea that it's over exaggerated is just because you need it to be. Just because you need it to be doesn't mean it is. So unless you have some other backing, I'm going to skip. Because again, I've already done this. I've gone to the 30-minute mark. I'm just... Go on.
Evidence is
We need to get over with
misrepresented.
it.
Like,
Bad.
basically he wore the speed blitz and all that. Come on. Yeah, he would in this Sasuke, this version of Sasuke, but not like Sasuke that literally bodied Gaara, not that Sasuke.
That's basically what's being stated here.
I will go over that, by the way.
So now that this scan has basically proven and shown that even with the Sharingan, it's not enough, and and overall, basically, unfortunately, if the opponent is still faster, etc., that he will lose the fight.
No. If opponent is significantly faster to the point that your precognition is not enough, then yes. Just faster than, like, if opponent is faster does not mean he can't dodge attack or something. Like, I will prove that too. Like, so okay, let me just prove that. I will prove that right now. Let me
Okay.
pull up the scan. Okay, right here. So this is Sasuke that fights fully, not fully, but full body transformed Gaara, one-tailed Gaara. And look, watch this. So he literally states here. So Gaara charges at him, and he dodges it. So here, right?
Okay, so he's able to dodge this Gaara. What do we know about this Gaara? Well, this Gaara is faster than Sasuke. But this Sasuke speed. This Sasuke is the same speed as Weightless Rock Lee. Okay, what is Weightless Rock Lee? depending on how you want to look at it. I've seen some people say 5 times, but considering the scan that talks about the first gate is a dozens of times, so I've been told that bare minimum 12 times. So that means Rock Lee is 12 times faster than this Sasuke. So if this Sasuke can barely dodge this Gaara, then this Gaara would be barely 2 times faster than weightless Rock Lee. So that means Rock Lee has a 10 times speed time advantage to this Gaara. So Sasuke dodging this Gaara is not impressive. It does not scale them anywhere near them. So even if you want to sit here and say just because he has precog, does it with the Sharingan doesn't mean he's going to be fast enough to do anything with Rock Lee, and he's just going to be in the same situation as before.
Right here, he states that without the Sharingan, it'd already be dead. I can't even
Well, thank you for admitting that someone who's faster than him on that level would be able to speedless and kill him.
dodge him without taking time to predict his movement. So so he's saying that without his Sharingan, without that precognition, he won't be able to dodge it. That he's like Gaara is so much faster. Right here, he says it. He's even faster than before. So Gaara is so much faster. Not, by the way, not because of this. There's argument that because Gaara used this tree to leash on it.
I don't care about that
That's
tree.
because that's why his travel speed was much faster. No, I mean yes, but also he's even faster than before.
Yes, this transformation would make him massively faster. And I do not care about this tree. I'll ignore that tree. Not that tree. This tree. I'll ignore the tree. I'll admit that he's faster. But according to this right here, this Sasuke is 12 times slower than Rock Lee. The fact that he's able to dodge this Gaara, because the Sharingan doesn't increase your speed, it just increases your reaction capabilities. So you still need the speed in order to react. The fact that he can react to him means that there is at least at most maybe 2 times difference between these two. At best, maybe 4. I'll sit there and say Sasuke can react to 4 times faster than him. That still means this Gaara is vastly inferior to Gate 1 Lee. And it's irrelevant.
So he's still faster that he got amped by one tailed obviously, right? And this tree is not only the reason why he was that fast, and not only reason, but yet this tree will tell make him slightly faster because they charged at him, and then yeah. But so point was that Sasuke um would not been able to dodge this without precognition. So even though someone is faster than him,
That's just an also, and one thing that I've been ignoring this whole time, just for the sake of keeping this going, that's an aim dodge. Aim dodging is not impressive. And to take a page from Newell books like I did the first time when I got to this really stupid part, just because you're able to step out of the way of a car doesn't mean you're able to be as fast as the car. It just means you know where the car's going to be. And the Sharingan basically makes it so that you can see where your opponent's going to be sooner than when they actually get there. So he's just making sure that he's not here when Gaara gets there. And that's not as impressive as you think it is. You're
that
overhyping
precognition
Sasuke Sharingan
that
here.
helps a lot. So
Yeah, it does,
someone
but
has to
only
be
as far as it can.
levels above in terms of speed to like this precognition.
How many levels of speed? You have given no numbers. All you're saying is he can dodge people who are faster than him. Okay, if you're going to sit there and say that means he can dodge all people who are faster than him, that's a no limits fallacy. If there's a limit, you need to give that limit. If you refuse to give that limit, then this is a pointless conversation, especially since I've already given you numbers and proven that First Gate Rock Lee would still be able to speed blitz and hit this Sasuke, and there's no reason to say that I'm wrong.
To not be useful. So there's that too. So now let's get back to Vida.
So we're going to get into the next thing that's also very important relating to the topic of speed. So now that we're here, we're going to talk about Sasuke's speed first. So the first thing is basically this is being stated verbatim by Guy. And mind you, this is coming from a person that has trained Lee and knows basically everything about Lee to the T. He says he's quick, he's almost as fast as Lee's average speed. Lee's like his stance matches my Taijutsu image, and basically shows Sasuke saying it's at your sand armor. Gar has like a crack in his, in his cheek. Basically, another layer of defense he has just in case if someone gets past the sand. And
So basically, like you guys can tell like this guy is biased. Like
What bias? You cannot throw out claims without evidence, and he has shown no bias. All he's done is talk about what he's seeing. If anything, you have the bias. You are refusing to give any empirical evidence on what you're trying to state.
in this scan, Sasuke literally bodying Gaara with just
No, he doesn't body Sasuke and Gaara in this scan. He cracks his cheek. Rock Lee, in his fight with Gaara, destroyed everything from here all the way down to the chin and maybe even a little bit past it. So if we're saying this is Sasuke bodying Gaara, Rock Lee smashed Gaara.
taijutsu alone. Like look at his face. He's on the ground. Just taijutsu in the beginning. He's already both.
Yeah, same with Rock Lee. Like you're giving feats to Sasuke and refusing to give them to Rock Lee. And the only reason that is because you need that to be true for your argument to work. So yeah, no, you're the one with the bias here.
Bodying Gaara. And Guy states that he's almost as fast as Lee's average speed. But then he gonna show that he has weightless Lee speed.
Sasuke taunted him saying "come." So basically, this is
Even Lee states that he matches my taijutsu image.
All that says is that Sasuke needs to use Rock Lee's taijutsu technique in order to beat Gaara. Because if he didn't, if Sasuke had superior taijutsu skills to Rock Lee, he would use his own taijutsu stances and all that.
Showing that, with Sasuke using a little bit of his speed, he's basically almost as fast as Lee's average speed. Then Sasuke goes even at full max speed. Now he's moving at full speed.
Okay, so he's showing in this scan good. So now he states that my guy states that he's as fast as weightless Lee speed.
And he moves all around Gar and everything. He's like, that's practically the same speed as Lee without his weight.
Yeah.
Stated verbatim that Sasuke's speed level, max capacity, is at weightless Lee's speed. Sakura's like, it looks just like Lee's taijutsu, even his speed is a lot greater than before. Basically showing that when they were talking about him being almost as fast as Lee's speed, now he has achieved Lee's weightless speed. So this is basically where Sasuke caps at for speed, and this is,
That's not true. He's not caps at that, but we can.
Okay, give a reason why he doesn't cap at that. You can't just claim that he doesn't. Like we have no reason to say he's faster than that. Like okay, so you know what? To be fair to you, he can get faster with the Chidori. The Chidori is stated to increase your combat speed, but how much faster does he get with the Chidori? Because like I said earlier, Gate 1 increases Rock Lee by like 12 times. So you would have to argue that Sasuke at bare minimum gets a 12 times amp in speed with the Chidori. And even then, that's not going to help out too much. If Rock Lee can just do what Sasuke does and just aim dodge his opponent. And we know aim dodging is impossible in Naruto, especially with Chidori. Because even Kakashi refuses to use Chidori because he views it as too dangerous of a move to use. The same Kakashi who has the same speed as like EMS Sasuke and KCM Naruto thinks he's the possibilities of an aim dodging his Chidori and countering him without his Sharingan is so great he won't even attempt it. So that means dodging the Chidori is not impossible. Especially with someone like Sasuke who is like weightless Rock Lee as a kid level. Like, I don't know where you're getting at.
We can talk about that later.
literally.
Of course, we'll talk about it later because you don't have any proof for it now.
pretty straightforward. So if anyone were to try to contend with this or basically say,
If this is actually where Sasuke caps at speed, then Rock Lee is caps at this too.
No, that's not how that works. Just because Sasuke would cap here, and no, I don't agree.
The amps that Rock. Okay, I will.
Sorry about that. Just because Sasuke caps here, and no, I don't agree with that, because I do think this Chidori would increase his speed a bit to the point where he gets tunnel vision, which, I mean, doesn't do us a lot, because tunnel vision is just when you move so fast that you stop being able to perceive your side of your peripheral vision. But that's another point. But even if we sit there and say, yes, he caps here, Rock Lee doesn't cap here. We know Gate 1, bare minimum, increases by 12 times speed. The scan will be shown for that later. Trust me, I'll get to that, and I'll be doing my own video on this at some point as well. But yeah, no, Rock Lee does not cap here. Just because you need it to be true, again, doesn't make it true.
We'll talk about that.
you know,
I will talk about that later.
any
Of
type
course,
of
later.
statement,
It's
all
always
you have
later
to
with
show
you.
just to basically provide the scaling with speed is this simple scan alone.
Never now.
Basically, this is really all you need to just kind of show where Sasuke caps at what his shot at. And that's basically simple as that. Now
No,
that
he
we've
don't.
basically discussed Sasuke's speed, we're going to get into Lee's speed. So now we're going to start with Lee and basically with his speed. So as we all know, Lee has weightless, speed when he takes off the weights, and basically with that
Also, shout out for a full second there. We were up to 3 whole members again. Thank you for joining the stream for the people that are here. I appreciate it.
speed alone, he's able to bully Gaara and kind of
Personal best for me. Don't judge me.
basically pressuring.
Which Sasuke did better job than Lee.
No, you didn't prove it. You cannot
Gaara
prove
to
it.
the point where literally, he's basically using his last line of defense, which is the sand armor. If someone is able to bypass his sand, that is always protecting him. And basically, from there, Lee was able to literally not only
Road to 100? What are you talking about there, Keycorp? I'm missing something?
corners Gaara, but literally to the point where basically, he was literally stated verbatim to be cornered, and Gaara was basically playing a losing battle, and Conqueror was taken out.
No, I just caught up. Sorry about that.
Now,
You're darn right, we are.
those
We'll
scenes
get there.
will also be shown.
Well, he was not freaking out because like Gaara was in trouble. Like he was freaking out because Gaara was like about to kill Rock Lee.
No, he was freaking out at the beginning because he thought Rock Lee was weaker than he was, but then he actually starts using the gates and all that, and then he's worried that Gaara is going to get hurt. Like, there's a whole moment where he's worried that Rock Lee actually killed Gaara, like, before they found out that it was a substitution. So, no, I don't know what you're getting there.
Literally, he's seeing that it's narratively was narrative.
One day
that,
I'll be
like,
as cool as you, Keycorp.
His inner
I think you have
demon is
like a
weak
few
now,
hundred now.
and
Congratulations
that's
on that,
like
by
he
the
was
way.
worrying about Rock Lee, like he was worrying about Gaara less. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like, I don't know what these guys are on about.
As well, but either way, we're going to stick onto the subject of speed. So that's what Lee's able to do with that speed alone. And then the next level of speed that Lee has is when he activates the gate, the first gate alone. So remind you, Lee has weightless speed, which is the same speed level as Sasuke. Then he has the ability to utilize the first gate, which increases your speed even further.
Travel speed, by the way. So people don't understand that gates increase travel speed. It's not.
No, it doesn't increase travel speed. Why would it increase travel speed? I mean, yes, it definitely does increase one's travel speed, but it also does increase reaction speed and combat speed and all that. And it only makes sense that it would because the move is made so that you can get into your opponent and throw devastating attacks at them at incredible speed and attack power. In fact, this scan right here proves it. It even says verbatim that the move itself, and I quote, the release of energy of enough muscle and power to embody the welder to perform a series of grudgingly and demanding tasks at incredible speeds. So that task could be traveling, but it could also be throwing a punch. So there's nothing here that says that it's only travel speed. That is a baseless claim, and you can't prove it. It also doesn't make any sense narrative-wise or for what the technique's trying to accomplish.
Not combat speed. So, for example, like when they open gate, they have to perform technique, Lotus technique. So basically, like where it's like that the chakra flow that amp that gates give, it's not sustainable. So they have to perform technique. So it's basically a travel speed.
What? How does that make it? Okay, so they can't hold the technique, therefore increase the travel speed. Is that what you're trying to say? Because doesn't make any sense. Is it they have to use this technique because they can't use it, therefore increase the travel speed? That also makes no sense. They can use the Lotus, especially since when you consider that it's said verbatim that you can use the Lotus after you have to open the first gate to use the Lotus. Would imply that you need that incredible speed and power to do whatever the Lotus is requiring you to do. In this case, would be kicking your opponent 100 feet in the air, then dropping them on their head. But yet, no, that's not how that works. And again, just because you need it to be true doesn't make it true.
Well,
also, I can disprove this. Rock Lee goes from not being able to barely able to get through Gaara's sand defenses to being able to hit him so fast that the sand can't even keep up.
like why people don't understand this?
Because you can't prove anything
just don't get it.
adequately.
It's irrelevant in the combat that
No.
he gets that speed.
No, it's not irrelevant to combat because it's a combat-oriented ability. That'd be like saying Sasuke Chidori only increases his destructive capability, but doesn't increase his attack potency. Like you're missing the point of something like the Chidori then, and you're missing the point of something like the Gates.
Speed, he has to perform
Can I
technique, so
full
that
screen this
speed
even
is
more?
irrelevant basically.
Oh, I can only accept full screen.
Which I'm gonna talk about Sasuke's speed that he gets amp, which is superior than fifth gate.
So you think the Chidori speed amp is massively faster than even 12 times? Okay, let's see that evidence.
So Guy literally states,
Oh wait, is that going to be another later thing? Oh, how convenient.
normally human beings utilize a mere 20% of their own muscular energy. If anyone
So this talks about chakra. Main point is not muscle.
No, it's not chakra. Chakra is mentioned in this. And I would read you the scan, but I've already done that. It took way too much time for me to get all of them. But basically, the point of it is here to here, it's talking about chakra being able to increase the muscle energy within your muscles in order to increase the efficiency. So the muscles themselves are getting pushed to higher levels so that they can be used to perform tasks that they couldn't usually normally do. Yes, chakra is used, but the muscles are the overall drilling point here. It's the difference between amping your punch so that it hits harder and using the fireball jutsu.
Muscles here. It's energy. Energy is that main point that Might Guy is making right now.
The energy is used to make the muscles bigger and stronger so they can do better tasks. You can hype on this all you want, but that's the end game, is to make the muscles stronger and more efficient. If that was not needed, then making the muscles more efficient and stronger would not ever be mentioned.
Muscles is where that energy goes through to convert into strength.
Oh, thank you for admitting that you were wrong.
Or use that power to use that energy. Basically,
I like how he did that. Like, it's the muscles are there. It goes to the muscles so that the muscles can use the energy. So the energy goes to the muscles so the muscles can use the energy. Oh, thank you. Would have never figured that one out.
muscles is utilizing machine to use that energy.
one able to exert anything even close to 100% of the strength in his muscle.
So these two things refers to same thing. If someone uses that 100%, strengthen muscles, which requires the chakra flow, right? Then
I needed a drink. Sorry.
uh, that muscles will break down. He even states right there. So let's keep watching.
What does that even mean? I'm not even gonna bother pointing out everything wrong with that. You yourself, Weeb, I want you to tell me what that even means. And the reason why I'm doing this is if you cannot tell me what that means, then you are openly admitting that you are just throwing out words in order to sound smart. Again, I do not believe at this point you are a human. I think you're a robot or a parrot. So prove to me that you even understand what that means. And for anyone who thinks I'm being overly mean, know that I've been in a server with this guy for a very long time, and the only thing he ever does is fight with people and call people names. He thinks I'm a troll. And for anyone who knows me, you know that I'm more than 100% willing to admit when I am wrong. So the fact that this person is that stubborn and that delusional and so far into his own pride that he can't let that go, he clearly cannot be handled with baby hands. I need to be as firm as possible.
Watch.
What are baby hands?
Basically, what would happen is the muscles themselves would quickly break down, so the brain sets a limit of how much of our muscle power we are willing and able to use.
Yeah, which gates that Lotus technique that he's gonna refer afterwards is
The first gate does it. It's the first gate. The Lotus is a first gate technique. So when this happens, it's gate 1.
literally what is the technique is overriding that limit.
The secret of this technique is overriding that internal safety feature, giving the will to access to all of his own chakra. Dangerous as it is, the result is the release of enough muscle power to enable the will to perform a series of grueling and demanding tasks at an incredible speed.
Yeah, so this statement is literally states and literally implies that that's travel speed.
No, travel speed is never picked. Again, like I said before, I'll give you $100 if you can find exactly where within that it states only travel speed. And no, just because you can sit there and go, oh, point your fingers and go, that right there is travel speed. No, it has to make sense, and I have to be able to find no holes within it. That is the caveat. So if I can find any holes, consider it not even worth my time.
So everything that Lee's gonna do is gonna be travel speed.
Oh yeah, because Rock Lee throwing punches is only him traveling. Get the fuck out of here.
That technique he's gonna do, like, I don't think it's hard to understand.
Pushing his own body to the limits of safety and beyond. So basically, okay, it's an art that draws its power directly from energies blocked within the will of the cellular structure. So when you call upon it, you're sacrificing a part of yourself, and it basically goes from there. And that's basically what happens when you use the first.
So it says that it's double-edged sword, basically. And sacrificing part of yourself. It refers to this muscular energy, and all this is basically the cellular energy, which also requires mental energy. Yes, my guy is talking about muscles and
What's up there,
energy
faster than light? How are
in
you?
the muscles, but that thing that my guy is referring is that chakra, basically. So he's referring muscular energy, which is cellular energy, and opening gates requires mental energy, which is basically stamina.
Okay, I'm doing fine. Just having fun trying to not have an aneurysm listening to this man try to explain things real fast. No, stamina and mental and physical energy are two different things. Mental energy is used for stuff like puzzles solving, mathematics, and all that. Physical stamina is used to do demanding tasks like lifting heavy stuff, running marathons, and all that. I can go run a marathon and completely exhaust myself and still be able to build a puzzle. So that is completely wrong. Like, I don't know why, for some reason, you think that all forms of energy are just equal to each other, but that's not true.
that which converts into chakra. I made video about that, so if you guys want to, you guys can check out my chakra explaining chakra basically, and eight gates, how it works. So you guys can check it out.
No, thank you.
First gate, which allows you to use the primary lotus.
Yes, when he opens first gate, it allows Lee to perform primary lotus. He would not be able to do that without first gate. No, he would, but it's not gonna be as powerful and as fast as uh, gateless. I mean, Sasuke did performed against Ruoi, as I said.
It's a debunk video. I need to do a few more debates on here, but this one right here is specifically a debate video. Yeah, it's him. It's a debunk of a debunk. He's debunking Batman's video on Rock Lee versus Sasuke, and I'm debunking his debunk. So, debunkception.
So now that we've talked about the first gate and how it amps and increases Lee's speed even further, let's talk about the
Oh shit, we're up to 4. We beat the personal best.
second gate.
I have small goals.
So right here, before we do talk about the second gate, I also wanted to show you guys another scan referring to the gates, basically explaining they constantly maintain limits of the amount of chakra flowing through the body, limits.
Again, he's talking about travel speeds that amp that speed amp that gates give basically.
No, again, the only reason why you're saying it's travel speed is because in your mind you have already declared that it is travel speed. It makes no sense to increase one's travel speed only when you're in a fight. It makes sense for him to increase his combat speed ability, especially since the gates demand that you throw hits at fast speeds.
And I will show the proof that Sasuke gets even greater amp from his.
Wait, did I miss that somewhere? No, you never proved that. You just declared that it was true. You said you were going to prove it later. I'm still waiting for later. Later never
Chidori, which I'm gonna show right now.
Right now? Oh shit! I thought you already did it. Okay, let's do this. Let's see this beautiful scan of Chidori being faster than 50 times. I don't know.
Okay, so this is Kakashi that performs Chidori. So we're gonna see that Chidori amp, that speed amp Chidori gives basically.
I like how that person can see Kakashi using the Chidori without the Sharingan. He's able to perceive that he's coming at him, and even able to throw multiple Shuriken at him. It's almost like Chidori isn't as fast as you're trying to make it sound already, but okay, we'll continue.
So he's basically charging. It's like
Also, fun fact: this is Kakashi. We're talking about Sasuke. What does Kakashi? So even if whatever you're trying to prove here with Kakashi is true, that doesn't prove anything with Sasuke. That doesn't prove shit with Sasuke.
also he's so even
Get to the point,
his
man.
opponents is saying that he's very fast, which I'm gonna go through.
Yeah, go for it, man.
He's fast, as you guys can see.
Yeah, that's a good point. It definitely would increase over time, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. Like, what is he trying to say here? Like, he hasn't said anything for like 5 seconds. Am I missing something?
So, and Minato basically saves Kakashi because.
So, the other guy, so he was able to use Chidori. The other guy was still so fast that he was able to react and almost do a counter, and Minato still needed to come in and save him. So far, all you've proven is everyone so far has been able to react to Kakashi using the Chidori. How does that help you with speed in any way?
because Kakashi don't have the Sharingan, so he was not able to perceive anything when he was using Chidori.
Okay, just because he can't perceive doesn't mean anything, because we're talking speed right now. Him not being able to perceive doesn't do anything to slow down his speed, except just make him open to counter. So that means the ability to dodge the Chidori is still a very valid option. What is my
At this
foot keep
time,
cracking?
he had no Sharingan, so he was not able to perceive any movement that movements he was making, and that's why it then Minato will explain shortly.
Goddamn Minato.
So let's go through it.
How long are we into this? 40 minutes.
So they are talking about this. So here. And one more thing, Kakashi, about new jutsu of yours. So he's referring Chidori. You should not use it anymore. So he's saying, from what I saw, it strikes with single focus. It certainly has speed and destructive power. So this
I think he forgot what he was trying to prove. So he's trying to prove that Chidori is a speed increase faster than all 5 of the inner gates. So far, all he has proven is it has an increase in speed, and that people who are just joning level can react to people using it if they're still slow enough. So, is there there has to be something I'm missing here that this guy just hasn't said, that there's something in his head that I just can't get. And so far, all he's proven is that it makes you slightly faster and all that, which doesn't even prove to like gate 1.
this destructive power is not that impressive, because like when he uses that hand on the ground, it's literally sliced through uh, basically that ground. We have seen it. We have seen Sasuke use it against Gaara. So we seen like what's it's looks like when Chidori is basically slicing through the ground, and it certainly has speed.
Oh, you're darn right. It certainly does have speed. Oh, I wish I drank.
But it makes you move too fast. It literally states that Yellow Flash himself
Here it comes.
states
Here it comes.
makes you move so fast to a session the opponent can.
Okay, he's gonna take forever to say it. So when you use the Chidori, you develop tunnel vision. What is tunnel vision? Tunnel vision is when you move so fast that your brain cannot perceive the side of your peripheral vision. Okay, so that just means you're moving slightly faster than what your brain is used to. Because fun fact, if you don't know what's in your the side of your vision, your peripheral vision anyway, your brain will not automatically be able to recognize what it is unless you already know what it is. It's going to take your mind a minute to take it in anyway. So the average human, you know what, real fast, I'm just going to go ahead and look this up. How fast does the average how fast does the average person run? About 8 miles an hour. So that means if you, as a person, were to hit speeds up to, like maybe let's say 10 miles an hour, 9 miles an hour, you'll start to develop some form of tunnel vision. Because that's moving faster than your brain can really comprehend. If you want an exact number, I can do that as well. How fast does the average person need to go to get tunnel vision? Yep, according to this, it's about the same as what I just said, about 13 to 15. So it's not like you need to be like 5 times faster yourself to get to get the effects of tunnel vision. So all that's telling me is that moving with the Chidori increases your speed to the point where you're not at your normal speed. So the speed that you have with the Chidori isn't what you can generally move at. So it's not a reliable speed. And with the Chidori, you can only move straight.
Counter attack to
Sorry about
ascertain
that.
the opponent counter attack. So it's still imperfect. So he's saying that basically you can't see like what's going on, like what's your opponent doing. You are moving that fast. So basically, Sharingan is required to use this technique, which then
Yes, but the reason why the Sharingan is needed is because people can move out of the way of it, and you move so fast that you're not able to counter if your opponent is able to do that. Counterattacks are very possible. If you were moving so fast that your opponent, the idea that dodging and all that was irrelevant, then counterattacks would be impossible. So it beats the point you're going for.
then Kakashi gets it later uh, from Obito, and he's gonna be able to use it. So now let's get back to the video.
Uses chakra to force a will
That was all
alive,
pointless.
enabling the user to draw upon strength that is dozens of times their usual level, so meaning dozens of times of weightless least speed.
Didn't know. Like, basically, when gates is open, when one gate's open, right, from 20% he gets up to 30%, which implies 1,000 times only than his base. So he gets 30% overly, which is implies that he gets that amp on when he opens gate. So one gate is 1,000 times amp, but it's still in the individual level, like Rockley's level.
Yes, they are individual levels. So if you're admitting that gate 1 is dozens of times, I've been told that that's 12. Let's be nice to you and say that dozens of times it's like 10. That means Rock Lee at gate 1 is now 10 times faster than his original speed. That means, from what the Cal guy said earlier, with Gaara maybe being 4 times faster than that Sasuke, it means that Rock Lee at this point in time is still 6 times faster than those people.
This level that what his body is.
You were showing no proof in any of your videos. You have made only claims, so anything that I used to debunk you is not needed any proof for. Next time, show proof of yourself.
Capable of.
Even if the user body is destroyed in the process. And then
Yeah,
before Lotus opens only the first gate, which is even stated verbatim.
Also, if you want to be technical, I'm going off the panels that are on screen. So those will be my proofs. So look at them.
The first gate is what uses the forward Lotus.
So he moved on really fast from that, but like I just want to say when gate is open, so every gate gives 10% buff from for
It's not a 10% buff. It's a 10 times buff. It'd be an 80% buff overall because you go from 20 to 100. You know this because this is the number you like to throw out all the time. It almost makes me wonder why you take some information when you do and take some when you don't. Almost like you're biased.
for example, like when one gate is open, it's bump up to 30, then for second gate 40, and so on, up to 8 gates, which gives 100% or close to 100%.
No. The thing is, in order to use the Lotus itself increases your muscle efficiency up to 100%. Lotus is gate 1. So you're denying information that you already know.
At least.
This is also the scan where it's talking about basically.
And like it's double-edged sword he can't sustain that speed. He has to just use technique, because otherwise that his body gonna just break down, and like he's gonna be damaged internally if he uh like just stays like without using technique, right? The chakra flow is still damaging him internally, so he has to use technique. So it's basically a travel speed. It
No, because again, he's still able to throw punches at that speed. The technique and all that he uses, their Lotus, is just the high. It's just the peak of what that technique is able to do. He's still able to throw his punches and kicks at that speed. So that's not just travel speed; that is in fact combat speed. But you also made the claim that he has to use that technique. No, he does not have to use the technique. If he wants to, he can just stop before using the Lotus. He'll still be damaged, but it won't hurt him as much. And there's no reason to say he would have to, outside of the fact that he just happens to that one time. In fact, he stops using the Lotus right before he hits Sasuke with it the first time.
it has nothing to it has nothing to do with combat speed.
Gar using his
It's like tunnel vision
Oh, I'm sorry, Weeb. I didn't realize throwing fist was travel speed. I want you to tell me right now, because you're in the chat right now. Tell me in what way does throwing your fist equate to travel speed? I'm waiting, Weeb. No, you're going silent now? Okay, we'll continue with your video.
as like Chidori basically, but Chidori
Huh? You don't understand? How does throwing your fist equate to travel speed? Because when he's in gate 1, he can throw his fist at that speed. So what does that have to do with travel speed? How is that not combat speed? How is that not combat speed? You can laugh, insult, do all this if you want. You're not proving your point. How is that travel speed only? When he opens the first gate, he can throw his fist at that speed. So how is that only travel speed? No, I'm not talking to him right now because he only insults. This is the only reaction video I'm going to do on him, and then I'm moving to actual people who actually are willing to listen to criticism. Okay, he can't answer off, so I'm going to move on.
is faster than
No, I'm not hopping into
gates
PC because you're
travel
unwilling to listen.
sand armor.
which I'm gonna show.
The way the shield is, it requires a massive outpouring of chakra. Its defensive strength is less than of the sand's shield, and since the sand itself is lying against the skin, it
Let me actually show one now. So here, Lee opens 4th gate, and
Oh no, you're not insulting me. Oh, wait, you're not talking to me. Okay. What if the speed of his punch drags the drag? What if the speed of the punch drags the body equals travel speed? No, because he still would be able to throw his hands at that speed. If he's throwing his hands at any level of speed, that means he has combat speed on that level, because punching and kicking, all that is your combat speed. So I get what you're saying, but no. Like, if you can punch at that speed, you have that combat speed.
Kakashi can track him. He is fast. Basically, Kakashi with his Sharingan is able to track 4th gate Lee. So let's keep reading.
Yeah, but Kakashi's massively fast, man. Like, don't downplay Kakashi.
Looks like he's using 5th gate, his maximum potential, and he's not able to go through sand armor.
Okay, you do know that right after this, and I guarantee you the panel will be shown, Garo's on the ground. He has to use all of his sand to keep himself from dying, by the way. And he's barely able to move. Like, he can barely move. He has a tail beast, so he's able to regen really quickly. So if the fact that he gets up right after doesn't mean anything. And even right before this, as he's taking the hits from the fourth gate, he even openly says his army cannot withstand the pounding that he is taking. And that's ignoring the fact that when he gets hit with the first gate, he actively switches out of the he jumps out of the sand armor so that it can take the full brunt of the attack because he's not convinced he'd be able to take it. So that's now 3 incidents of Gaara not being at all confident that he'd be able to take the hit or even able to take all the hits fully and needing to do other tricks in order to survive.
He don't have force to go through sand armor.
What? Okay, again, you're ignoring all those other factors.
It's like it has. I don't know. I'm speechless. Who thinks this Lee is stronger than Sasuke, which literally passed through multiple layers of defense and ultimate defense of.
I'm not leaving my video that I'm making explaining why you're wrong just so I can get an FEC with you to sit there and call me names, dude. I know you think you're smart, but just because you can sit there and throw insults and all that and just refuse to listen to what's being said doesn't make you smart. It makes you ignorant. And I'm not going to sit here and play games with ignorance. Again, this is the only video I'm making on you, and I'm going to go to people who actually care.
Of Gaara, Sasuke with his Chidori. So he has superior AP and durability, which I'm gonna go through afterwards. I don't wanna jump over the points I kinda did, but like I want him to say first. Let's move to next page.
Can't believe you came onto my stream just to argue with me, dude. I mean, I get it, but at least listen to what I'm saying, dude.
So these bounce things, like when he's bouncing in air, right? You guys, it's literally implies that it's travel speed. Like people with even half brain can, like it's not hard to analyze. Like when he's moving in air, that's.
My defenses are failing. Is he even human? Oh yeah, no, that sounds like somebody who 100% can just tank all of Rock Lee's hits. I'm like, no, he can't get through his. That's why Gaara states this, right? That makes 100% sense.
That's travel.
Thank you for showing that.
It's not combat.
You gave me the evidence to disprove you.
Like people need to like get educated on that.
You're going to drive me to alcohol.
Especially this guy.
Let me guess. I also need to be educated. But I know the difference between one walking down the street and throwing a punch. Or is that just too far below your level of intellect, Mr. Weeb? Mr. Weeb. Need some weed.
Kakashi still can track him.
Mr. Weeb.
Ground is turning into sand, like.
Yeah, you're darn right I'm being a clown, because if I'm not going to get some entertainment out of your actual video, then I'll at least give people entertainment for what I'm doing.
So, all this time, like, even fourth gate was very obvious that Kakashi could track him with Sharingan. And as you can guys get it, like Sharingan can track fourth gate and even fifth.
Sorry, 1 second.
Fifth gate. It's not really demonstrated about fifth gate.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. No, just because Kakashi's able to track Rock Lee with the Sharingan with gate 4 to 5 does not mean Sasuke can. Kakashi is leagues above Sasuke at this point in time. If he wasn't, there'd be no point in him teaching him. So that's irrelevant.
Gate, but it's demonstrated on fourth gate, and even here it's so fast you can even see him. It's not. By the way, it's Shikamaru that states it right here. Kakashi is watching it, and he's tracking with Sharingan. So like I can think that he's tracking him on fifth gate too. And he was when he was bouncing in the air, that moving really fast, that travel speed, that Kakashi was still tracking him. It's not that hard to understand. People that understand speed scaling should know that it's travel speed and not combat speed.
No, again, oh, that's beautiful considering that you just sat there trying to argue with me with this in the comments. No, Rock Lee is able to throw punches and kicks at that level. That means he has combat speed on that level. He can react faster because he's able to move so fast that the sand can't even keep up with him. This also proves that reaction speed is up. So travel speed, reaction speed, and combat speed are now all up. Just because you need travel speed to be the only thing that increases, for this to be true, for your premise to be true, doesn't mean anything. And here's the real kicker in all this. Even if I give you only travel speed, this still means that this Rock Lee is able to move so fast with travel speed that he's able to avoid the Chidori and get up to Sasuke before he can use the Chidori and just knock him around before he can do anything. Okay, that you haven't helped yourself.
Combat speed. And right here, basically, Might Guy saves Rock Lee from death.
This Rock Lee almost had Gaara beat twice. And okay, that just proves that this Might Guy is even faster than a downed Rock Lee. Cool, and we know Might Guy's stronger than a standing Rock Lee anyway, so that doesn't prove anything. But this Rock Lee's down. This Gaara kept himself safe with his sand, something someone like Sasuke couldn't do. You can't substitute himself with a sand shell. He doesn't have one. So what are you trying to prove here? It's all irrelevant. You can't. There's nothing backing what you're trying to say.
And also, like there, in my debate against Chrome said it was not death and death battle that Lee was going against. And as you guys can tell, that this is death battle that he was going in. He was going to die in this if Might Guy did not save him.
No, a death battle is when both combatants are trying to kill the others. Rock Lee was not trying to kill Gaara. Gaara was trying to kill Rock Lee, but Lee was not trying to kill Gaara. Just because he used a technique that would have this gate wouldn't kill him. It's gate 8 that's used to kill you, not gate 5. So no, he wasn't even using a technique that would kill him. The only one who viewed this in any way as a death battle was Gaara. So it's not a death battle.
So that weightless Lee.
Yeah,
that
Lee was teleporting.
People say that we're gonna start on weightless. It's also not true at this point. In this point.
Wait, did he just say Lee isn't weightless? You know the weightless thing is referred to the fact that he doesn't have his weights on. He is weightless. I mean, obviously he still has mass. He still has some weight to him, but you're just reaching now.
This point of timeline. So yeah, that's debunked too.
No, it's not debunked.
Like,
he didn't debunk anything.
Why are you helping him and all that? Okay, now let's get back to Widow.
Increases the weight of his body, so he must expend more physical strength just to move. Okay, that's also very important. I will talk about why. And if Gaara has been driven,
yeah, like sand has weight. Yeah.
Okay, here's the one with him being afraid of Lee. So I guess this is evidence against that. Let's look at this. If Gaara has been driven to use the sand armor, then right now his mind is purely on defense. He has been driven into a corner. Oh yeah, no, that sounds like somebody who's purely afraid for Rock Lee's safety. He thinks Gar is protecting himself because he's worried about his defense. No, he's clearly only worried about Rock Lee. That makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
Into using the armor created by Conqueror.
You're okay.
That right now his mind is
That's you.
purely on defense. He's been driven into a corner, showing truly how strong he is.
Have I been doing this long enough that I can quit without looking like 105? Why is it going silent again? Why do your videos involve you going quiet for hours at a time?
This is when he uses the first gate, remind you. And basically, he gets, more faster. He's moving.
I mean, that's fine.
Basically, Gar's like, hurry up.
Okay. Look, I'm going to be fair to you. I get that the video's long and you couldn't show many things. One, that kind of sounds like an oxymoron. That's fine. I get it. For the sake of saving time for the videos, you don't show too many things. But at least when I'm doing these debunks and all that, I'm going off the evidence and logic of the people that are on the video making the videos. So when Batman makes this, if he says something that's actually contradictory to what he's saying, I will point out why in the scan that he is showing. When you're disproving someone's points, you do not need to bring direct evidence. You can just use the evidence that they are using. You are not doing that, though. You're just saying it's wrong because it's wrong. And that is not a debunk. That is just you saying that you do not agree, which is fine. But if you want someone else to agree with you, you have to bring the actual reasonings. No one can read into your mind, man. No one. Only you know that. So if there's something I am missing, it's because you have not said it.
Like, hurry up and come. And then he's like, all right, bet. And then Guy right here states the Lotus technique will let him strike at his foe at a high.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. And because you have to hear this well. Get better insults. Your insults are stuff I would hear from middle school people, and I would be embarrassed for them.
Speed, a thin layer of sand won't stand up.
Yeah, Lotus technique gonna allow him to travel at that speed. Yeah, travel speed.
I should skip to the conclusion and read the description? No. Because I'm missing the overall context of actually what's being said. If I just looked at the conclusions, then I'm just going off what people say they think happens. And if I just read the description, then I'm just going off what you say would happen. And if that were to be the case, then I might as well just sit here and go, Weeb is right. Nothing else would matter. It would just be whatever comes out of your mouth would be right. And even you, no matter how into your pride you are, have to admit that just admitting that you're right just off the grounds of you saying you're right is ridiculous.
It's obvious, like it's very obvious. Reason why gates and Lotus techniques is linked heavily to each other is because let's say if someone opens gate, right, then what you gonna do with that gate, with that amp that you have for limited time? What you gonna do with that, right? You have to do something for, let's say you run up to someone and
Yes, that is fair. So you can't really use the Lotus and primary Lotus without using the amp because you need the speed amp and the power amp in order to use it effectively. But you have to be quick about it because the gates and all that, if you're not proficient at them, will destroy you. And I can prove that the more proficient you are, the longer you hold the gates. Because Lee and Mike Guy hold the gates throughout pretty much a good chunk, most of the war. He holds the 6th gate for a good chunk of the time. So the more proficient you are, the longer you're going to hold it. So no, I don't know what you're trying to get here, but yes, the gates themselves are used in order to use the Lotus at its maximum potential. But that doesn't really, again, because your scaling here is either speed, power, or durability. And how does that help you?
and punching. That's the travel speed. So that strength, that the technique allows Lee to use that gate's full potential. So that Lotus technique allows Lee to use that gate's full power to fully get his strength and his speed, like fully use that power, that limited time. That's why.
So it does increase power and strength. Thank you for admitting it. And if we go off the multipliers, that's bare minimum 12 times. So Rock Lee is now 12 times faster, stronger, and more durable than Sasuke when he fought Gaara. Unless you have something in his arsenal to scale him above 12 times bare minimum, Sasuke is losing that fight. He cannot use the Chidori on demand. He has to charge it up. The Sharingan is very powerful, but it's not going to be able to use to keep an eye on Rock Lee because he's going to be moving too fast for him to react. The Fireball isn't going to be something he can use since Rock Lee will be able to sidestep it, and he has superior taijutsu skills to Sasuke. So he's not going to be able to throw hands with him. There is not a single thing in Sasuke's arsenal that he can use at this point in time which would allow him to beat Rock Lee. The only thing he could use maybe is if he catches him with the Sharingan Genjutsu. If he did that, maybe. But Sasuke doesn't use the Sharingan Genjutsu at this point in time. Or at least there's nothing to say that he's super adept at it. So there's nothing. At this point in time, I am now an hour, 10 minutes into this video. We're at the 33, let's see. We're now at the 33:47 mark for Weeb. I'm going to stop this right here. I might come back for another part because really this is starting to become really painful to listen to. This is Ken Rock. I will see you maybe in the next one.